meeting is being recorded.
Welcome, everybody, to yet another goddamn horror podcast. I'm one of your hosts. I am Ryan Danley, coming to you from Portland, Oregon. Sitting over here. I don't know where I don't know where everybody else is situated for everybody else's computer. But Jonas coming to me from Bushwick, Brooklyn. How's it going, man?
Good, man. I'm just chilling in my room. I've been watching, it's my day off, so I've been watching movies all day. I just watched Fall. So
how was that?
It was good. It was scared the shit out of me in a way that I did not think it was going to. I thought I was going to hate it, but
interesting.
It's terrifying.
Nice heights.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
It's the ascent instead of the descent.
Yeah, I kind of can't fuck with it. I don't know what it is. Like, it just makes me nervous, like watching or like seeing the cover of it. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm really excited. It looks really fun, actually.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that the platform.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of like Open Water. You know what I mean? Like that sort of like tension thing. So the other voice you're hearing right now would be Graham, whom is coming to you from another part of marvelous, cool and
Flatbush,
Brooklyn. Which do you guys think is a hipper neighborhood? Flatbush or Bushwick?
Oh, don't do that. It's rude. Bushwick has been, statistically, I think it's Bushwick, but
I mean, cooler, hipper?
Yeah.
Hipper, I guess, like as far as hipsters, Bushwick.
Yeah, but Flatbush is cooler, is what you're saying.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's got King's Theater.
Yeah.
Anyway, we should talk to our guest.
Okay. Graham, do you want to introduce our guest?
Sure, I'll introduce him. It's Stu from SpiritWorld. Stu, how are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Doing good, man.
Good. I'm really excited that I've been listening to SpiritWorld for a little bit, actually. My friend Ian got me into them. And I'm super excited. When I saw Death Western and then the videos and stuff, like it made the name Death Western makes so much sense. So that's the name of your new album, I believe. And it just your sound is really fucking cool. If you could kind of explain it to our listeners.
Yeah. It's I kind of took what I love from 80s thrash, 90s, like late 90s hardcore, New York hardcore stuff, and like Florida old school death metal, and just took all the best shit. And then went, like, I write all the songs, so I kind of obsess on all the records from that era. So that's basically what I'm going for. But then I really like that heavy metal allows you to like get crazy with the concepts. So I wrote a book of short stories that gets re-released in November, but it's a horror Western with a bunch of gunslingers finding the gates to hell. So the whole idea for the thing, that's where Death Western came from. I'm taking death metal and like Western films and, doing
I love it.
I'm such
That's
a geek.
so cool.
I'm such a geek for like those multimedia experience, like that bigger concept stuff. Like good on you, man. Like that's a good it's just cool to see like that work going into that, and it just gives everything gravity and layers, and that's a lot of fun. So it's
first thing I noticed when I saw the videos, it's like these are straight up horror movies. Like this is like when I'm watching them, I'm like, these are straight up
the effects are great.
Who is it that did the effects on the videos? Because those are like legitimately movie effects. Like that head pull in Death Western, like that's a hell of a good head pull.
Yeah, kind of one of the side quests of this band is to Trojan horse my way into tricking somebody into giving me money to make a horror movie. So like,
I fucking love it.
Those are going to be a little sizzle reel. Like, yeah, motherfucker, I can make a movie.
Yeah, you know what you're doing. Yeah.
On the new stuff, the 2 new videos we did on this album campaign, Sig Neutron, out of California, really good practical effects guy. Like he did him and his gal came out and did the effects and did the head pull and a couple of the like more gnarly ones. So yeah, I'm a horror buff. I like you got to have it practical, got to make it gross.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Absolutely, man. And it's cool. Like I like that both of the videos are like companion pieces, because when I was like talking to the guys about this, it kind of reminded me a little bit of a mix of like there's some From Dusk Till Dawn in there, there's a little bit of Bone Tomahawk in there, there's like you got a little bit of the Evil Dead stuff going on. Like it's obviously made from somebody who is a fan of horror.
Yeah, exactly. There's actually 3 videos. Our our first record, I released it, self-released it, and then Century Media re-released it last November. So I made a video, The Bringer of Light. So it's a trilogy. These 3 videos are a little horror Western 3-piece, you know?
Fuck yeah.
Fucking love it. And I love that you were saying that you take from like metal and hardcore and stuff. Cause I was going to say, like, you could fit right in with like Sanguisugabog and Enforce and those newer like Maggot Stomp bands. And then like I saw you're playing a show with Mind Force and Drain, which is fucking awesome. And then like you've got like the desert rock sort of like Queens of the Stone Age Caius kind of vibe going too. Like there's a good rhythm in there. Like it's great.
Yeah, man. I like all that stuff. So when I started this band, I wasn't planning on touring. So I was just making I just wanted to make records that I liked. And now we've been doing a lot of touring, so you kind of have to fit in a little bit.
Sure.
Yeah.
But as much as, we're kind of the outlier. We just did a month-long Europe tour with Agnostic Front. And so playing to a bunch of old skinheads and hardcore kids. So like being the thrash band wearing nudie suits and like covered in rhinestones in Europe, they're just like, what the fuck is wrong with this band? But then halfway through, they're like, it's like Z Slayer. I fucks with it.
I like it. Yeah, because I mean, like, I could, when I saw you were on tour with AF, like, I was like, that it actually, like, in a way, sort of like oddly makes sense. And I don't like them, like, I know, like, because I could, Dwid is on one of your songs, and so, like, I mean, there's definitely that, like, that integrity, sort of like intensity, All Out War, you know what I mean, like, in that sort of like metal influence. I won't use the bad C word, but because it's just it's like it just doesn't make, but it's very, very good, and and I think in my heart it's because I'm the way I am, that it's like it's just a good hardcore band, you know what I mean, and like that's just like we just need those solid hardcore bands. So thank you for continuing on that sound. I have this thing where like I try to pretend that like all the bands that I like aren't metal. So it's
he does a lot of talking around metal.
I'm like Bolt Thrower. They're really a hardcore band, right? Like
everyone's like, he tried to call Anthrax like not metal the other day.
I kind of feel like Anthrax isn't, like, I think they're skate thrash. I think they came up at a time when metal was like the more appropriate thing to store them with, and but I feel like Anthrax is more of like a skate thrash band. I don't know.
You called them skate punk too. Anyway, yeah. So what were some of the influences for the videos? Like look wise?
Well, it was more like influenced by what I don't want videos to be. If I see another video of 4 angry white dudes in a warehouse with a fucking fog machine, I'm gonna kill myself. And from that point, and then saying the exact opposite of that is like, we have a very small budget, but how can I use my friends? The director, Todd Hailstone, we went to high school together, and
Nice.
He's done a shitload of film work. So just trying to make something as big as we can for having like a $10,000 budget to do 3 videos. It's like most bands can't do much with that, but I've been around enough in the art scene where I can like take a nickel and rub it together and make something sick as fuck,
Right.
That's so rad. Yeah.
I mean, because as much as art is so prosperous for all of us, it's still hard to come, like Jonas and I are stand-ups, and it's you gotta.
Yeah, sometimes we'll make $20 in a show and we'll be like, dude, we're fucking rich.
Yeah, what?
It's just like, what?
So they give me $30 to speak in front of.
Was this a mistake?
Like,
right.
I thought I only got drink tickets I won't use. This is wild.
Right, exactly. So did you grow up in the country in dirt road land, or was this just sort of always just an influence to you? Like,
well, my parents, especially on my mom's side, they came to Nevada from Texas, lived on a ranch until like the late 50s, early 60s.
mm-hmm.
So when my like mom ended up in Vegas. Like we've always been like a country family. So I came from like a long line of rodeo cowboys and just a lot more of the Western stuff.
Sure.
But then also like I'm the youngest kid. I had a bunch of older brothers that were like second generation punk rockers in the mid 80s. So I grew up in a household with like a half pipe, you know, listening to Slayer, Misfits, Social D.
Right.
So as much as like the Western stuff of like fishing and hunting and listening to George Jones, also like I'm a lifelong hardcore punk kid too, you know? So
well, you're in good company because I actually hunt and fish myself. And I grew up in rural Colorado, but had a very East Coast family, like New York City family, but living in rural Colorado. And there is something special to it. And when I watch your videos, I knew that there was some sort of like lineage there because it's something you can't fake. And it's something you have to like, there's just something about rural West that is very specific. And you know, Las Vegas, for being the kind of city it is, it really is a Western city, you know, like that.
Yeah.
So,
and it's also like, it's really clear that you are a horror fan. Like, did that start early? Were you like a younger horror fan? Or is that something that developed later on in life?
I mean, young, yeah, because like the same time, like I had older brothers, so like I never had any like supervision because my parents would be doing their thing, so I would be like probably way too young watching whatever they were doing. You know, monkey see, monkey do. I remember like I don't know, maybe being like 8, 9, something, watching shit like Big Trouble in Little China, and then like the original Night of the Living Dead. So I mean, some of that stuff really made an impact, but I guess I didn't know I was a horror fan until, you know, junior high and shit, when you start like going down the rabbit hole and like proactively hitting the video store and watching every shitty horror movie you can find.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I guess it started young, and I don't keep up as much as I would like to, but I think right now we're in a golden age of horror. Like,
Absolutely.
constantly find stuff that is just amazing, you know?
Indie and the studios are both putting out really good stuff this year, which is fairly surprising. There's been good indie stuff if you can look and find it pretty much every year since the beginning, but the studios have pushed just mostly bland jump scares for the past few, you know, like 10 years maybe.
Yeah.
And now they're starting to figure out that, oh, if we give money to people that were making horror before, you know, that were making it indie, then they might make good movies. Like Barbarian came out.
I haven't seen
like that was his first movie, and they trusted him, and they nailed it.
Yeah. The last half of 2022 has been like kind of a resurgence of horror in theaters, because like you had the theater movies that happened like with pandemic stuff and everything like that. You were still having these movies that were coming out, but this last half of 2022 has been wild for horror. And like we've talked about it on the show, like the last few episodes, Terrifier 2 is kind of like this Cinderella story of horror films, of indie, like, you know, low budget horror films. And it's in fucking Oscar contention now. Like that is insane. Like that is like, especially if you've seen the movie, like the opening fucking scene, you would be like, this movie is in Oscar contention. Are you shitting me? Like, so it's been a very good year for horror. And I think also I think
it started strong too, though. Honestly, X came out in February, and that's still one of my favorites of the year.
Yeah, and then Pearl hit, and Pearl was fantastic. And like that's also one of the things, like as I'm sitting here looking at the stuff that you guys do and watching your videos and everything, that's why I was saying like you can tell this is from people that like horror, because you've got the practical effects. You've only got 4.5 minutes to work with to make a video, and it's got like the pacing of a horror film. Like it looks like an actual movie. So what you guys are doing is also something that's cool, not only just musically, but also like visually, and putting that kind of material out as a music video, and especially as a trilogy like that, dude. That's props to you guys for doing that, and to you for writing all this stuff.
I just think it's important to challenge yourself too. Like, you know, I played in punk and hardcore bands, and like the idea of doing a project, like for me to get excited, I mean, not that I'm like an elitist or anything, but like I really like fucking, you know, doing a puzzle. So like I could have just wrote the same songs and put a scary album cover, left it at that. But like for me, I wanted to have like a big ass project, multimedia, something really difficult to do, even though that's lost on a lot of people. Like for me, like it's hard to do all these things, especially being a small band. Like you compare the stuff we're doing now, like it holds up to like bands that have been around a long time with way bigger budgets, and
Sure.
that's the kind of stuff that like, I mean, maybe being competitive or whatever, like I take art seriously. So if I'm not doing my day job, like I want to do something that, inspires me at the end of the
That
day.
matters. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
You can tell. You can tell in the finished product, man. You absolutely can.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think one of the greatest things about doing this show and the people that we interviewed is it's really fun to like to surround yourself and to talk with people, just so I mean, this is a little off the left field, but like just to talk to people so dedicated and just creating something like really great and really cool, and just what like an amazing opportunity that is. And like to look at I mean, I don't think the average fan can realize how challenging it is to go out there and be like, okay, I'm going to do a book, and I'm going to connect a band to that and stuff like that. Like just like the running our podcast is hard. Trying to do there's three of us, and like trying to do YouTube stuff, and then we always have to like, it's just like, and then also like a lot of people could do that, but like do it at the level that it's like very, very good too is an interesting, because it's like I always talked about like Digital Underground, like what a weird freaking band. Like if you really think about it, they came out there, they had one guy playing two parts and rapping all these different things, and they rap to each other and all this shit. You're like, man, that's like, to do that stuff and to put yourself out there like that is such an incredible thing. So I really appreciate being able to talk to, and you know what I mean? And like your band is like fucking good. You know what I mean? Like you're like really
legitimately good.
You can tell we're fans.
Well, like legitimately like good. And so and to hook that all together with like a horror thing, you're like, oh, this is perfect. Like this dude is like somebody we want to know. You know what I mean? So good. So fuck, man.
Also, this is something I want to mention. Like also when somebody goes to look up your material online and they look up your videos and stuff like that, one of the things that also I just have to make a side note here, your live videos are good, which is something that cannot be said for bands a lot of times. Like sometimes you'll just see a band like a live video or whatever like that, and it's just like, all right, they're great on the album, and then the live show is like it's cool, but like you guys are a legitimately good band all around. So what you're doing with it is really cool, and the fact that you're doing it in a multimedia way like that too is just
love that so much.
Very fantastic. You said it's a group of short stories.
Yeah. Well, I'm a bit of a puss, so like I wanted to do like a fiction novel, but like that seems so gigantic in my head that I was gonna do a zine and just do a punk rock style and do like, full 8.5 by 11.5 and do like maybe 30 pages something. And then that sprawled out bigger. And so I ended up kind of carving it up and did character point of views. And so they all kind of interweave a little bit. So there's characters in each of the three stories, but it kind of reads like a short novella or something.
Cool.
Rad.
I do miss zines. I think that the internet kind of like killed the zine, but there's just something about a photocopied zine that was like kind of like it just had like such like a purity to it. Like, nah, like I got to make this happen. You know what I mean? I gotta
real quick. It made me.
Go ahead. I love the zine. Like I still do. When we did our demo, like I did a lyric zine with it. Like first 7-inch did a zine that came with it, but never scanned them and put them on the internet. Only for real life human beings that actually touch the shit. What I mean?
Real ones are the only one who get to read.
Yeah. Hand numbered. The zine lives. The zine lives.
The zine for. I mean, like sitting down in like a place and like reading somebody's zine will always be like the greatest.
That just reminded me.
I still read them on tour. Like I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I'm glad that it's not like vegan power shit all the time, like it used to be. I was cutting teeth in hardcore. I got tired. I mean, I'm all for like do whatever you want. Put your energy into your movement, but I'm glad that zines have gone away from the ultra political shit I grew up on,
Agreed. Especially like that point of view, because it was it ended up being just a lot of the same and like just like kind of preachy too.
And it was like every show, you had the tables with the sea shepherd, fucking Earth First, not to knock anybody, but I just feel like in my life I saw that so much.
A lot, yeah. Reminds me. So I just got a really cool. My friend sends me these amazing mixtapes, but he just sent one. It came in like a box, a wooden box, and it came with like a zine, like a little zine. But it was for each song. It was it was a Halloween mix, and for each song, it was a different creature he drew that was introducing the song like on a radio. It was fucking sweet, and like that's the kind of thing. Yeah, and that was just to send to me, like, and so, like, you know, like, it's just so cool when people do art for themselves, and then when it gets out, like, what you're like, you said you could put together an album real quick and put a scary cover on it, and you're done. But like, you wanted to put together a puzzle, and that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Also, it's one thing I love about live shows when live shows have live only merch. You know what I mean? Like, not shit you can buy on a website, not shit that you can like go and find like somewhere else online or anything like that. Like, no, you got to go to the show. You got to go to the show if you want this thing that they made, and you got to spend money and support them. Like, that's what you got to do.
My bolt thrower shirts, which if anybody's unaware, were only sold at shows. Bolt thrower only sold their shirts at shows, and then I went and bought a bunch at the show, and then miraculously my closet shrunk. It had nothing to do with me just getting bigger. And so, but now I'm bummed because like I bought the shirts and like I appreciate their dedication to like, no, you went to the show, but Bolt Thrower is done. They're not a band anymore. And like, so now I can never own another Bolt shirt. That's unless I want to go. I mean, mind you, I could go like on eBay and buy one for like $300 and $400 or whatever. But
with Bolt Thrower, there's a ton of bootleggers though. I mean, granted, you gotta blur the moral line of, you know, accepting yourself.
I feel like if they're not active, then, you know, if they're not selling a shirt, I feel like you can make a shirt.
Yeah, and I have no shame. I don't give a fuck. I got a lot of homies in the boot world, you know, that like, boot hands all the time, and like I don't have a store where I'm selling bootleg merch, so I'm just like, I'm supporting my friend, you know, whatever. I don't give a fuck.
Sure.
Yeah.
If you got a friend
full of bootlegs, and some of these bands, like I'm sure I'm gonna run into them wearing a bootleg. You know, it is what it is.
It is.
I've had friends with trunks full of shirts. You know what I mean? Just like pop a trunk open. I got all these shirts. It's like, all right, fuck it, let's do it. I'll get a bunch of them.
Yeah. On that tour we just did with Agnostic Front, the main support band Charger. That's Matt Freeman from Rancid's like Motorhead tribute band. Just Motorhead worship. They're great. But like I didn't plan it, but I like had a pair of sweatpants that are like Rancid that I was wearing. My band was talking shit like, you fucking Punisher, what the fuck? Like Matt Freeman's gonna be on this tour. I'm like, hey, these are my best good sweatpants with fucking pockets that ain't got holes in them, dude. Fuck you. Don't care. And then Matt's super cool, you know. He like whatever. We just laughed about it, but you know. And I waited until he was wearing a SpiritWorld shirt too. He liked one of these long sleeves, and so I was like, once you're wearing my band shit, game over. Like I'm allowed to wear
We're cool. And can we talk about how do you think he's maybe the most talented musician in most of punk music?
Who?
Matt Freeman. I mean, like he
bass
is
player, I'd say, yeah.
I would say I just like, as far as like a bass player goes, like Maxwell Murder, I will still just throw on every so often just to listen to that bass
Just
clip
that
in there.
bass shit. Yeah.
And it's just like, and you listen to it, and you're like, dude, like what is going on with you? Like, how did you end up in like punk bands? You know what I mean? Like you can feel like it's just like, it's not that punk bands aren't talented or whatever, but you're like, dude, you're like a legitimate, like he could be playing in like the, you know, Foo Fighters or some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
you know, his like it was crazy watching them play every night. I've never hung out with him before, and his like his hand and wrist is all fucked up, so he can't really hold like normal people play. So part of the reason he plays so crazy like that is because he has to like his arms cockeyed. So like,
oh shit, cool.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like he's explaining on the bus, and I was like watching him play. I can't tell, but then after he showed me, it's like, oh no shit. Half of the like crazy stuff, like it came from being like having a strange, you know, physical disability where he's, you know, having to do things on the fly. But yeah, amazing. Amazing
Yeah,
bass player, man.
Didn't
Every night
Tony
is just
Iommi
crazy.
invent that because he was missing part of his finger?
Yeah,
Didn't he
same
invent-
thing.
Yeah, yeah, that
Interesting.
shit is cool.
Yeah,
Tony
Yeah,
Iommi,
Mike
dude.
Ness too can't do it. Like he's got a fucked up
right.
digit, so all them social D leads, like, you know,
Yeah,
I don't know. There's something to that, you know. I like
for
people
sure.
that when you have
That
fucked
can-
up stuff, you still
They can
do it
work
anyway.
around it, yeah,
Yeah,
and make it an advantage.
Yeah,
One-
why not?
One of the weirdest, most non-metal, but also totally metal things that I have ever seen was Tony Iommi writing an entirely new song and making a whole gothic like castle video to sell fucking cologne. Like he made a cologne. He was like, you know what? This is how I'm gonna sell it. And the song is a fucking banger. Like it's like, dude, you haven't come out with new music in 15 fucking years, and you wrote this to sell cologne. Jesus, man.
Yeah, you know, it's somebody's got to sell that cologne. You know what I mean? You know, and I like that you bring up Social D because I'm waiting for social like. So I have this theory that people who listen to punk before Nirvana love Social Distortion, and people who listen to punk after Nirvana don't like Social Distortion. And I am a monster Social Distortion fan. Like I still to this day still think they're just like those early records are just like so absolutely incredible. So I appreciate you bringing them up because I'm waiting for people to come back around to Social.
I love that band. They come here a lot, man. So my family, my girl and shit, we always go see Social D.
And it's
so
always
many times.
Yeah, it's so good, and he is just like understated in how incredibly talented and like what a good vocalist and a good like overall music mind he has. He's a funny dude too. Like he's like it's just I don't know. I'm a big Social fan. So good. Like,
Yeah.
Pro social.
Same.
Same. So the things coming up are what's your next tour looking like? Are you what do you got going on?
The bigger ones we can't announce yet, but we're doing what the fuck are we doing? We got a show in Vegas with Ghost Inside next month, and then we go to Texas with Integrity. I think one of those shows was announced in Austin, but there's going to be a few more. And then what else? I think that's about it. Oh, that Mind Force show in February.
That Mind Force Drain, yeah, that looks fucking rad. What
Yeah,
a lineup. That
so
Mind
good.
Force new record is, I love Mind Force a lot. And Drain's fucking great too. And I saw that you were on. I was like, that's fucking so cool.
Yeah. Do you like Mongrel?
I don't know Mongrel.
Check him out. That's
I will.
a dude that used to play drums in one of my old bands. Some homies from San Diego. Maggot Stomp just put out there. I don't know if it's a demo. It was a little cassette, but like a 4-song thing. But Mongrel rules, man. They're
Okay.
playing
Off
it
the
too.
Leash, 3 songs. Yep.
Yeah,
Awesome.
they roll, man. Those are my homies, Tristan and Face. Really
Cool.
good guys.
Into it.
This is actually a question I had because I'm kind of like I know some about certain scenes as far as music and stuff go, but how is the underground music scene in Las Vegas doing? Because I know there's been some cities that just kind of unfortunately got fucked over the last few years, but I've never seen how Vegas is doing as far as that goes.
Vegas rules. Like I've been really involved in the hardcore punk scene, so I probably know more about that side of it than some of the other underground stuff. But we have a really strange thing here where you can't have all ages venues that are outside of strip casino licensing. And so everything has always been kind of relegated to, illegal shows or being at like a VFW hall. So it's kind of it's a tough scene to do all ages shows, but there's always a thriving hardcore punk scene here that's like that Mind Force show. That's the local bookers here, friends of mine. It's their 5th anniversary since they started doing it under their new name, Black Path. So that's going to be like that lineup should be like at a big venue, and it's at a little tiny, it's at our spot, like the little VFW hall. It'll be packed with like 400 kids, complete insanity. No, I mean, there's not even hardly a stage. It's like a 1-footer. So it's going to be just like fucking bananas. And we haven't played like that in town, only Psycho Fest. So like our set, we have deep roots in the hardcore scene. So like that show's going to be fucking nutty,
That's cool.
And shout out to keeping it all ages. It's so important, and it's so, you know what I mean. Like, because how many of us? What would we have done if we didn't have shows to go to? You know what I mean?
For real.
Like way more trouble. Well, I mean,
I've only been to Vegas once, and I got sick when I was flying in, and then was stuck in the bedroom for a day in the hotel, and then got married the next day, and then went to punk rock bowling. This is like 5 or 6 years ago or something. I don't know. But it was rad. Vegas was so cool. I left also after like punk rock bowling and rolling in, like throwing up and stuff into one of those baggies on the airplane. Like I was sick. I left feeling like $1 million for some reason. Like, and I partied the whole time. I got married, then went to punk rock bowling and felt like invigorated and stuff. I don't know if it was the air, but fuck, I love that.
It's usually the opposite. People come in feeling great, and they leave puking in the bag. So
exactly.
Well done, sir. Well done.
Thank you.
I was gonna say you did a reverse Las Vegas turducken. That's what you just
did.
did.
Yeah.
I'm a downtown Vegas guy. Like I can't stand the strip, but you go downtown, you go like hang out at like Binion's and stuff like that with the ceiling and all that. I think that's that to me that's the cool vibe of Vegas. I always the strip is always just gives me a headache, but I do like to stay at Circus just because it's like the armpit of the strip, and for some reason they'll tear down everything else in Vegas. They have like there's no love. What do they say? They say that there's no sentimentalness or something in Las Vegas, and but they just fully just keep. You know, I used to say at Heidi Ho too.
Circus looks like it smells like an ashtray all the time. Like it just has that. It's like when you see a picture and you're like, that picture smells like cigarettes. You know, like that. That's what Circus looks like when you get up to it. You're like, this. Everybody smokes here. Like every single person.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. Do you think you're able to handle our Sinister Six questions, or you scared or anything? Anything? All right, cool.
Bring it on. I have no clue what I'm getting into.
Okay, it's fine.
It's pretty fun. It's just 6 questions. Answer however you want. Opinion. Freddie or Jason?
Freddie.
Cool.
What's the difference between thriller and horror?
A pedophile.
That's fucking great.
What horror movie influenced your taste the most?
Ooh. I don't know. I really maybe not like the Western stuff, but like Reanimator, like
nice.
That fucking like whatever they did, whatever magic that is, I would like to put that into my records and art. You know?
Oh, I love that. That's super cool.
We had Brian Hughes on the show once, and that guy is the most amazing dude in the world. He just like he basically like we barely talked, and he just gave us like a 2.5 hour like freaking lesson
schooling
schooling on 80s 90s VHS horror. It was really amazing. So
yeah, that's badass.
Yeah, it was fucking like one of those moments you're like, this is like I feel like I'm part of something here, you know what
I mean? Yeah. If you could erase one movie from existence, what would it be? It doesn't have to be horror necessarily.
You know, I'm not into the cancel shit. I think leave it all. Like you don't like
Fair.
it, watch it. Fuck off.
I like it. Are ghosts real?
Yes, absolutely.
Cool.
Awesome. I feel like there's a lot in Vegas. Midsummer or Hereditary?
Hereditary.
Yeah, you killed it. You killed it, man.
Dude, I was gonna say with the ghost thing in Vegas, like not only is there ghosts in Nevada in general, like is full of fucking ghosty shit. Like did you know that they actually, like, I don't know, Stu, if you knew this, they actually filmed a movie at that clown motel. They actually filmed a whole ass movie called Clown Motel at the Clown Motel. And I'm like,
yeah,
dude, there's
actually.
It's like, Jesus. Like I want to go there once and I want to just hang out there for the day, but I don't think I want to sleep the night over there. Like that one I feel like is probably one of the most haunted buildings in the entire country.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't fuck with clowns. So like when I was younger, I used to work a lot and have to drive up to Reno. And so we would end up always talking shit about staying at the Clown Motel, but never. Not for me.
Fuck all that.
Yeah.
Fuck all that.
Yeah, they should probably just tear that place down.
They won't. They won't tear it down. There's no way.
Right. Why?
What's
why
gonna
tear-
happen, dude? What's gonna happen if you tear that thing down? What's gonna unearth from underneath that hotel? Like, are you fucking kidding me? Leave it and just let the spirits be in the hotel. Like, just
Clown Thulu.
Yeah, we don't need that. We don't need that shit running around here. Like, absolutely not.
All right. Well, it's time for recommendations. Jonas, what do you got this week?
I don't have any new music recommendations this week because I haven't been listening to a whole lot this week, but I've been watching movies like a motherfucker. So I just watched Fall. Like I said, it was awesome, actually. It was terrifying. It's the opposite of The Descent, but just as scary. And for a very thin premise. Like, I didn't go in with high expectations at all. Resurrection, which is on Shudder. And Shudder's just been crushing it. But there's also, I finally completed my Gaspar Noé watch list as well. Finally finished his last movie, Lux Eterna, which is, it's a Gaspar Noé movie. So you're either into that or you're not. It's super fucked up, but it's also really good. Oh, and I also want to re-recommend the artist, the visual artist, since we had Skinner on, also Emmy Boz on Instagram. She's awesome. And she does really cool horror art. So somebody else you should look up for a visual artist as well.
Rad.
Yep.
Graham?
For music, Trouble the Water by Show Me the Body. It just came out. They're from New York. They started like a collective called Corpus, where they all just do art. And this is by far their best record, I think. It's just fantastic. It's that cool new weird punk rock that New York does. So yeah, Trouble the Water by Show Me the Body. Crimes of the Future by David Cronenberg. I finally got to see. I fucking loved it. I love how that dude world builds and the way he gives the audience respect and the benefit of the doubt when building a world. He doesn't just spell it out, and it's fucking fantastic. Everything he does. But this is one of my favorites by him, I think, honestly. I'll have to watch it again. And last, Ghosts, the UK one and the American one. I'm fucking totally falling for this show. It's a dumb sitcom. I love every second about it. It's about a couple that moves into a mansion. She goes into a coma and wakes up and can see ghosts. There's a bunch of funny ghosts that hang out in the house. The British one and the American one are both great. That's it.
Real quick, Brian, before we get to yours, I do want to recommend that everybody follow everybody that is involved with Terrifier 2 on Twitter, because Twitter is falling to pieces, which is fantastic. It's just amazing to see people just set fire to their Twitter accounts in the best way possible. But I will say that the storyline of all the stuff that's happening going on between the people that are involved with Terrifier 2 is kind of one of the coolest things happening on Twitter. So follow all of them because they're very super interactive and everything. So like Lauren Lavera, Steve Barton, Damian Leone. Like Damian Leone is like he's notoriously private, and he's like, fuck this, like I'm not going to be private now. So he's just throwing everything out there. It's just really cool thing to watch while you watch everything else set fire on Twitter. It's amazing. So
dope. Musically, I'm just gonna go, like, I've been listening to, like, for some reason there will be like once or twice a year that I just listen to like a shitload of Sean Price. Like, rest in peace, Sean Price, but like I just will fuck with a ton of Sean Price, and it's just never ceases to be absolutely great. Brooklyn rapper Sean Price, he's dead, and he was great, and so it's a lot of fun. It's really heavy. As far as hardcore, I'm still listening to Law of Order. I think that record's freaking great. It's a beast of a record, and similar to Spirit World, it has that vibe of like a era that like I love. That is it is.
You sent me that shit. It's real good.
Yeah, it's really. Have you gotten into that at all, Stu? Law of Order.
What band was it?
Law of Order.
Law of Order.
Yeah, they I think they have the drummer for God's Hate and another couple.
But yeah, wasn't it Law of Power or something? I know who you're talking about.
Law of Power. That's sorry.
Yeah.
It's Law of Power. Sorry, I meant Law of Power.
I got you.
Yeah,
they're great, man.
Yeah, they're great. I'm super into that. And movie wise, I don't know. I've kind of like slowed down on my movies, but there's one that I forgot to get on our 93 reviews, and that was the Fright Night remake. And just how much I really like that movie, and just how fun it is, and how it's like just like a stupid, perfect horror movie. So
Vegas too.
it does take place in Las Vegas.
It was.
So, yeah.
That's also, I think that was Anton Yelkin's, not his last movie, but it was like second to last or something like that. I think Green Room was his last one.
I think
actually.
I think Green Room.
Yeah. And also like David Tennant's just rad. So just anything he's in is cool. Yeah. And then also I just want to give a big shout out to what's his name, Harry Potter, the actor who plays him, because he's just doing rad stuff. I just watched some stupid movie last night. Oh, and I have one unrecommendation. Do not watch the fucking Fletch movie with John Hamm. Like, it was so fucking bad. It is like,
that's why nobody heard about it until it was streaming for free.
It's so absolutely terrible. I was like, hey,
they rebooted Fletch.
Yeah, they rebooted Fletch with
it's bad.
It's bad. And it's John Hamm, who like is charming charming as fuck. You know what I mean? Like if him and Paul Rudd are in a room together, we have to be careful, because like if they die, there will be a charm vacuum. But but like it's really fucking terrible. So I unrecommend that. Stu, what do you got?
Shit, I don't know. Mongrel's cool. I already talked about them. And then 200 Stab Wounds. We toured with them.
Oh, hell yeah.
September, and they just finished their new record with Mark Lewis. Fuck it. I don't know when it gets announced, but that shit rips. Fuck, I don't know. I've been living on the road, so I haven't had time to read or watch any movies. I haven't even seen Nope. There's like a bunch of shit I need to catch up. So I'm like the wrong guy to ask for recommendations. My recommendation would be like, bring flip-flops so when you shower in fucking venues, you don't get crop foot from your fucking
That's a good one.
That's a great recommendation.
That's a fucking fantastic recommendation.
I kept seeing all these dudes in this tour party, and I'm just like, you raw dogging motherfuckers standing in that drain and like Poland, are you fucking crazy? But to each their own, you know. Some people like fast die young.
So
I think that Vinny Stigma is probably kept alive by that, to be quite honest with you.
Stigma has flip-flops, I'll have you know.
Okay.
Okay.
So what's the so what are all the upcoming dates with the with everything coming out for Spirit World? What dates we got for the album? For you said the album was coming out the 24th or 23rd?
The Death Western will be out November 25th, the same day the book of short stories Godlessness gets released through Rare Bird Lit, publisher out of LA. So that'll be we did a really badass audiobook version of it where we did sound design and had some character actors like do the different voices. So I'm not sure, that's not coming out in November, but at some point that'll come out, and we're doing it on streaming services. So it'll come out under Spirit World as an album, but it'll be the audio book.
Oh, that's rad.
Oh shit.
Yeah, cool.
So I don't have
also the song Godless from Pagan Rhythms is fucking rad. I was listening to that today. Damn.
Yeah.
Sorry.
yeah. But I think what else is going on? I think that's about it, man. We that's it. We got one more single they're pushing. I think it's not going to be a big video, maybe like a like the label's doing it, some sort of visualizer shit when the album comes out, you know. But yeah, man.
Relic of Damnation was a fucking fantastic video. So
yeah, thank you, man.
I like how you say, yeah, that's just it. You're releasing a new album, you're releasing a book with an audio book with a cool, man. Yeah, that's just it.
Just
going
a
on
little
tours.
bit of
Probably those tours you can't announce yet are probably fucking hot.
Yeah, they're
probably.
They are. I'm excited. Well, I'm the type of guy, like my band will tell you, like I'm never happy with anything. So it's like, yeah, Death Western's coming out, but I'm already on to the next project. Like I'm already trying to figure out how to lock up the producer I want to do like a cowpunk EP. So like I'm always doing like the next thing. But I don't know. I have a hard time. Like I spend so much time trying to make shit that's like elevated to the point I'll like it. But by the time I do that, I'm so sick of this shit. I hate it anyway. So it's like for me, it's like
you sound like an artist. Yeah.
Death Western's been in the can forever. And so I've been
So you're like, I'm over it.
Yeah. So like, I mean, I can pretend, you know, be
Yeah,
like,
sure.
"Woo, it's out." But I'm more excited for other people to hear it rather than like actually giving a shit at this point, you know?
You know, I knew that, and I brought this up before, but like I knew that Bruce Springsteen was like a legend. With like when I just saw him, I saw him like 10, 12 years ago, and he will still play Glory Days like it's brand fucking new. And like, do you know how much he must fucking hate that song? You know how many times he's probably fucking he plays that song every night. He does it everything, but he will still like rock it. And you're like, dude, like I don't even know how you do that. Like in all the bands I did, by the time I was singing them on stage, not that they were great bands, but like you just hate the songs anyways because you've breaking it apart and you've said, okay, this part needs to change, and it's probably never done in most people in bands' minds. You know what I mean? And it's like all this shit, and then like it was to come out and he just fucking busts out Glory Days. It's fucking crazy.
Listen, that means he's either the best showman in the world, or he goes back to his tour bus and looks at a shotgun on the corner and says, "Not today, but one day." Like, it's one of the two. We don't know which one it is.
I think it's a combination of both. You know? You got to be great at doing it. I was wondering that Agnostic Front plays a lot of stuff off of Victim in Pain. And I mean, I love their whole catalog, like big fan anyway.
Sure.
But I mean, how many fucking times have Roger and Vinny played Victim in Pain and fucking Your Mistake in 40 years? It's like
exactly
every fucking show since like 1983, and they still do it like, you know, with intent, which is pretty inspiring, you know?
Yeah.
That's really because and it is why they're one of the greats of all time, is because they can hold that. You know what I mean? Like it's, you know, it's like so many bands cut out their shit because they just don't want to play it anymore. You know what I mean? And so like the fact that they're still even playing shit off of Victim in Pain, I mean, like when I got that record, like people were like scared of you if you own that record. You know what I mean? Because it like, you know, like the cover was so fucking rough, and like it sold like the skinhead shirt on the inside, and like, you know what I mean? It was like a fucking thing, and people, you know, and the most of the world didn't get it. And so to even think that they're still even like deciding to do that is fucking hats off to those guys. You know what I mean? And still entertaining people. You know what I mean? I mean, Vinny Stigma is still like a very entertaining person. You know what I mean? Like he's still super
the greatest.
He's from his fucking running for president shit a couple of years ago, or, you know, like, I guess it was like probably 10, 12 years ago now, but to just being stuff. So yeah, that's rad. Cool.
I have one last question before we wrap this up here. I know that you can't announce the tour, but let's ask a hypothetical question here. Do you think that you'll be coming through New York anytime soon?
Supposed to be. We were supposed to. We're gonna 100% be there, but I think it got postponed. That's why we can't announce some stuff. So now we may be going back to Europe. So hopefully,
okay.
If I get my pick, we're doing this US tour, but the gods will sort it out, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, when you come through, we're gonna come through.
Yeah, we'd fucking love to see you in New York.
And
Yeah.
I'm in Portland. You can swing up here anytime. So anyways, thanks so much for joining us, Stu. I appreciate it. Go out, check out Spirit World and all of the things. Check out the videos. See them when they go on tour. Europe, they'll probably be coming to you soon. Please go check this out. Big shout out to everybody who's been tuning in lately. We have a lot of new listeners. Thank you. Big shout out to Skinner for his amazing art and for his support of the program. He's really a great guy. Big shout out to Terrifier 2 group of people. Please go support them directly from terrifiershop.com, and because you know they're looking to they worked very hard on that project, so I want to make sure they're in it. And let's see, I will give you one really quick on who's winning. Who do we think's winning between Australia and New Zealand? What do we think, guys? Who's
I think New Zealand. I think it's New Zealand this time.
Let's see. Oh, you know what? New Zealand fell behind Canada, though. Canada has taken over this week. Oh, New Zealand.
Yes.
Australia is right behind there, and then Germany, Sweden, Turks and Caicos Islands still just fuck you. I love you guys. And then Mexico still rocking in the top 10. So thank you everybody for tuning in and doing it. We please go check out our Patreon. We have the new $1 appreciation post. We don't give you shit, but you can just let us know that you appreciate us by $1 a month. $1.
And we love that. But if you
yeah,
want to
but-
get your name read right now, because you're part of the army of the goddamned, go up a level. And you can join Jason Daniels, Kristen Pearl, Chris Fortune, Alan Graham, Jake Jolly, Ron Knobloch, Drew Muldowney, Stephanie Gurley, Katie Viking, and Bacon Bits the Cat.
Fucking Bacon Bits, we love you. Hey, everybody, thanks for tuning in, and we will catch you next time. And take care of yourself. Holidays are coming up, and they suck for a lot of people. Don't let them get you down. Like it's all made up. It's all made up. Create your own narrative. And until I see you next time, start some fires and break some glass. Thank you.